What's up everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. So in the last video, we unlocked this Clegg Holdfast guy. Here he is right here. Not a bad pod racer. I mean, he's got some pretty bad braking capability, which is kind of worrying me a bit, just because I know there's going to be a spot in this next track that's going to require that. But let's go ahead and go with it. We're going to go to the Malastare 100. Let's go back to Winner Takes All. Course, and whoa, look at that dude, Dud Bolt. I hope that's not what his pod racer is like. Look at that guy's teeth and his eye and everything. Wow. Okay, let's check our pod racer here first. I think everything's okay. It looks like it's good. So let's go. So Malastare is the home of the Dugs. They were the race that Sebulba is. I like the way he said that. Dude, bolt! Oh, I gotta change the map back here. Alright, so Malastare is kind of a bit of a barren planet. It's got some mountains and stuff, and some rocks that take up the track sometimes. But most notably, it's got these methane lakes. And as a kid, I thought this was so awesome. This green stuff here. Look at that! I know that's not super awesome now by today's graphical standards or whatever, but as a kid, I thought that was just amazing. There's a shortcut right there, but I'm going to show you the long way here first. You go to this tunnel. There's actually two other paths here, but they're longer just because they come back to the main one, so normally I just stay in the middle. And then there's this big jump, and this track ultimately teaches you about pitching. And this turn, that was the part that I was worried about with the brake, but it looks like we slowed down enough to minimize the impact. But yeah, this track ultimately is, I think, designed to teach you about making sure your vehicle is pitched up when you make jumps like that, so you stay in the air longer. So you have to hold like the down arrow, in my case with my keyboard controls, to do that. Or if you have a joystick or a game controller, I think it's a little different, but at least with the keyboard controls, that's what it is. So yeah, I actually went to bed last night after I recorded the first part, so that's why I had to reset the map. But I'm going to try to get a bunch done tonight here. Let's go up the shortcut here. This is a pretty neat little shortcut. Just go up the hill and then back down. I'm actually going to try to take one of these side paths. Yeah, see, this is not faster. I guess those are there in case you don't want to dodge that thing in the middle, but I mean, honestly, I think that's harder to dodge with as cramped and narrow a space as you got there. That hairpin turn, though, that's a pretty rough one. I do like how pretty much every one of Malastare's courses has a long straightaway at the end. I mean, I think a lot of courses do, but I do like how it really is that pronounced. Malastare was also mentioned, a lot of Star Wars fans will probably know this, but it was also mentioned in Episode 1 when Qui-Gon was talking about pod racing, and he was like, they have pod racing on Malastare. Very fast, very dangerous. Good old Qui-Gon. Alright. Make sure we're repaired properly. Good. I haven't really been checking that. This music, by the way, I think this is another piece of music that was used in the Gungan battle. Wait, no, it wasn't. It was in the, No, yeah, it was in the Gungan battle. I was going to say it was in the underwater chase thing on Naboo, but I think it was in the Gungan thing at the end with the droids. Alright, so we won... Wait. Oh, Dud Bolt's pod racer is one of the original ones. That's why we didn't get it with the sequence there. Okay, so we got money, and now we can move on to... Ooh, I love this track. Vengeance. Alright, so this track is... I'll have to say, this is probably like the first really challenging track in the game. Let's go to Dud Bolt here and see what he has to offer us. Honestly, that's not super bad. I mean, it's kind of a balanced pod racer with good traction, so I'm not complaining. Let's go for it. So yeah, Uvo 4, the planet that this race takes place on, is a prison planet, or not a planet, it's more like an asteroid. So yeah, the announcer it's kind of implied, although it's not really stated outright, but Fud Sang is one of the inmates in this prison, and he gets allowed to pod race. Again, so much awesome lore in this game, even though it's not even used, you know, for the races, except for those little tidbits there. But it's so cool that it exists, you know. And we get freaking Duel of the Fates for the music on this track. How cool is that? I don't think this is a version of it that was in the movie. This is like kind of a toned down version without the choir. It was also used in the main menu for this game too, so that's pretty neat. But yeah, you got all kinds of like weaving pathways and cool scenery here. This is honestly one of my... I think it might actually be my favorite planet in this game. It was certainly my favorite as a kid. I think that was partially colored because of the music, because all of the tracks on this planet use Duel of the Fates as their music. This part though, this is where things get hard. So you go in here, and you get these anti-gravity tunnels. Watch this. See, I'm kind of like floating here, and there's all these rocks, these pieces of ore that are being thrown in here, and then you got that laser thing you gotta dodge, and it's just crazy. And you'll get damaged if you hit like one of the biggest ones. And, whoa. Okay. So far we haven't died. I'm surprised. Never mind. This part right here is kind of a little mean. I mean, the lights combined with those pillars is kind of a tough thing to, or kind of a tough area to dodge. But we're making it. We made it out, and we got a path here, and this leads us back to the starting area. See, I think this is the longest track we've encountered yet. So I didn't bring any attention to this in the last video, but you'll notice that every pod racer has a unique flag. And this was something that was also touched upon in the Phantom Menace as well, when the C-3PO was carrying Anakin's flag out to the area in front of the starting grid. I love the fact that they included that in the game as well, and pretty much every flag that was on that starting grid in the movie is represented here. Pretty sure. Alright, so let's go through this tight spot there. I guess you could stay on one side, but it's kind of a little trickier to do that. One of the other differences, I haven't brought this up yet either, but one of the other differences between this version of the game and the N64 is that in addition to the music only showing up on the last lap in the N64 version and having less tracks overall, music tracks it is, not racing tracks, the N64 version also had these weird kind of like previews that they showed before the track, where they would show like a highlight from the track and everything. I'll try to think of an example of this. Like for this track, I think they just showed like a row of prison cells or something like that you pass by. I think the one back there actually. Okay, we're actually surviving here. Oof, that was close. Okay, we made it through that. Awesome. But yeah, in the PC version, they don't actually show that. Although when I was a little kid, they briefly flashed them as if they were trying to play them, but then they were unsuccessful. So I don't know if it was intentional to include them in the PC version. But instead we got the videos of the announcers introducing like the host for the track. So the host for this track, I always found this one to be kind of funny because they announced this, the guy who hosts this planet's races is the warden for the prison, and his name is Fen Buddha. And he kind of has this very meditative pose, like that he sits in, kind of like a Buddha, you know. Well, I don't know. Do Buddha statues sit in that kind of pose? I don't know. I forget. I thought so. Maybe that's just my little kid self making an association and completely failing. Yeah, that's harder for sure. But I think his name was spelled like B-U-D-D-A without the H at the end, so there's that. But every time he got announced, all the prisoners in the audience would be like, boo, and everything, and I thought that was so funny. I'm going to slow down there. That's like a magnet for damage, that turn right there. I love the searchlights. Like that. The atmosphere of this place is so neat. Alright, I'm going to just be reckless here. Let's see what happens. Whoa, whoa, being reckless was a bad idea. Okay, thankfully we were invincible when we passed through the beam. Otherwise we would have died instantly. Or I think we may have spun out for a few seconds and then died, but either way we would have died. Okay, let's go. Whoa. I think I'm getting the hang of that part now. I don't know why this track's called Vengeance either. Maybe it's the prisoners get vengeance on the pod racers by throwing the chunks of ore in the tubes. 'Cause I think that was actually part of the description of the game manual, is that the anti-gravity tubes have ore that the prisoners throw in there to just totally mess everyone up. Okay, so second lap was the best one. So let's see Fudd Sang's pod racer. I wonder what Fudd sang. Maybe he sang opera in the prison or something. That would be awesome. He's got a pretty big one too. Alright, so the last track in the amateur pod racing circuit is on a familiar planet, Mon Gaza, and it's called Spice Mine Run. So I guess we'll be going through an actual mine, which is pretty awesome. And the track favorite for this course is a pod racer that might look familiar to the movie viewers here. Mars Guo was, in fact, the pod racer that's had the big wreck, and then the announcer was like, I don't care what universe you're from, that's gotta hurt, or something like that. Come on, there you go. Mars, whoa! So yeah, the game... Oh wait, we're still playing as Dud Bolt. Whoops, hang on. I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to use Fudd Sang's pod racer. My bad. Sorry about that. There we go. I don't know about this one. The brake and the cooling and repair are good, I guess, but I don't know. Look how huge this dude's things are. I don't know what to call those. I guess those are all part of the engine, so... Yeah, Mars Guo's pod racer is also pretty big as well. But he's got some pretty interestingly shaped engines. They look like asterisks, which is pretty awesome. Oh, I love this music. This is the music that played when Anakin destroyed the droid ship at the end of the movie. It's not actually on like the regular version of the soundtrack that you buy it on CD and everything. I think it's on the extended soundtrack, the one with like the blue Darth Maul in the cover. I always thought that was weird as a kid, that the special edition of the soundtrack had a blue Darth Maul. But I really love this track a lot. It just sounds so epic. So yeah, this track is considerably longer than the first Mon Gaza track, but a lot of fun. I think this is like a moving platform thing. Is it? Yeah, I think it is, because we're slowing down now. So I think if you take the middle one, you're fine. You also want to stay on the right here, because there's this vehicle, that right there. It's very hard to see before you see it, or before it reaches you. But if you run into it, you're pretty much going to die. I think that's like a mine cart type thing, or something like that. This pod racer, I'm not really a big fan of its handling. It's just kind of a little clunky feeling to me. But the good news is this track's not that hard, it's just really long. It's got a lot of cool scenery though, and we got a fork in the road here. So this goes through some lava area here, which is pretty cool looking. Keep in mind, I mean, back at this point, like in the N64 era, these graphics were pretty much the pinnacle of gaming. I mean, this was pretty much it. In fact, they were such a pinnacle that my PC as a kid couldn't handle them. I mean, now this thing runs at like 60 frames per second with the modifications that fans have made, but back then, like, it would stutter all over the place and lag and drop frames like crazy. Alright, so we got just shy over 2 minutes. That's a long lap. We're going to have a lot of courses later on that are like this, though. I thought this guy was supposed to have good cooling. I guess it does take a while no matter who you are at this point, if you haven't upgraded yet. Like I said, I'm going to try to get through this whole game without upgrading anything and just see if I can do it. I was able to do it in practice before doing this Let's Play, because I wanted to kind of get used to the controls again and whatnot, but I pretty much stuck with the same pod racer that entire time. So it would be interesting just to see how different pod racers work, and if I can actually get past certain races with certain ones. There's one that I'm really worried about. It's the first track of the third circuit, because I happen to know the pod racer we're going to unlock before that is pretty awful. So I'm hoping that that will work out, because that's a tough race. I do like the fact that that minecart thing is moving, because it definitely adds a dynamic element. It's not just like a rock in the anti-gravity tube thing that just stays still. It's actually a moving thing that you have to dodge. And I think sometimes it runs the other way too, which is pretty awesome. Definitely gives you a bit of a challenge. I'm gonna go the other way this time. I think this deposits you on like the bottom section of the last leg of this race, or last section of the track, I should say. We're about to enter the last leg of the race, the third lap, so. Okay, I needed to scratch my ear there. You kind of hear people talking here. I don't know if this is like some buzzing marketplace. I guess it kind of reminds me of that very crowded marketplace from Rogue One, where Cassian totally shot that dude in the back and everything. I liked Rogue One a lot. I actually liked it more than The Force Awakens. I know that's probably a controversial opinion among a lot of people, but I feel like Rogue One took a lot more risks and had a much more unique directorial imprint on a lot of its cinematography and stuff, whereas Force Awakens just felt very generic, and I don't know if I'd say bland, because I enjoyed it. I mean, it was definitely an enjoyable movie and whatnot. Oh, I just saw a shortcut there. I forgot to take it. Oh, I completely forgot about that. I think it exits, yeah, right there. And oh, now I just died showing that. But you got to see the tunnel right there. I just came out of it there. I forgot about that shortcut. Even in practice, I totally... Yeah, I just realized it was there and didn't even... Yeah, that was silly. I love going up this moving thing, because you get some really high boost speeds going up that. Okay, I don't know where the minecart is. Let's be careful here. Whoa, there it is. There it is. Okay. I don't know what those blue light things are, but I like how they contrast with the color scheme in this place. Also, that weird crane thing, whatever that machine is, it looks like a Rancor from Jabba's palace. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I think it looks kind of cool. Okay, let's be careful here. Yeah, you can see all the silhouettes of the folks there. Let's go! Alright, so, all in all, I'm not super fond of Fud Sang's Pod Racer, but it's okay, I guess, if you want a really heavy one. And we got Mars Guo, who is an awesome pod racer. I mean, look at those engines. Those look cool. And he's got pretty decent stats, too. Alright, let's go ahead and... Wow, we beat Mars Guo by like 19 seconds.
The fastest pod racer in the galaxy. Fud Sang.
He looks like a... I don't know what he looks like. He looks like a piece of toast or something with eyes. Who's that guy? I forget who that guy is. I guess... Oh wait, that was Mars Guo. That's second place, and that guy was third place, whoever that was. Okay, that makes more sense. Alright, so here is the fourth pod racing circuit, the Invitational Circuit. We unlocked the first race, Ando Prime Centrum, as a result of getting first place in all of the amateur courses. But I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to go through the other circuits before going through the Invitationals. So hang tight, we will get to that soon enough. But for now, we are going to do Sunken City. I think this will be the last race for the day. And we're going to be facing off against, I think this guy has to be my favorite pod racer, Bullseye Navarre. He has an excellent craft, just incredible. Let's change to Mars Guo. There he is right there. Look at those stats. He's got incredible top speed and traction and a pretty decent brake. The other stuff's okay. The cooling, I'm not really excited about that stat right there, but let's run with it, alright? Go to Aqualaris again. So, this will be our second race in Aqualaris, and it's going to be evident. Yes. Alright. So, it's going to be pretty evident that this track reuses some of the same spots. I forgot to mention, you can taunt other people with one of the keys in this game, but I don't really see enough of the other pod racers to want to do it enough, so... Also, this guy's rolling capability is... I guess it's okay. He's just too big to really do it effectively. Woo! So yeah, this first part is pretty much all the same stuff, but then we're going to get into some different stuff here. So, one of the things that I did as a kid when I played this game... let's go like this. There we go. Is I would go to restaurants and with my parents sometimes, and while we were waiting for the food, I would try to design my own pod racing courses on paper. Because I was obsessed with pod racing for a while. Like, it was the thing in my life. So I guess this is the sunken city right here. It looks pretty damaged, so I'm going to assume that's what this is. There's also a shortcut there, which I will show you here on the next 2 laps, because it chops off a significant amount of time. And you can go up here, although I don't know why you'd want to do this. I guess if you want to get away from people. It's nice that it's there, even though it's kind of pointless. And then we get to go to the upper floor of the stadium, and you can see the Republic ship that I mentioned in the last video there. And we get to speed through all the people here. I like how this stadium seating is designed. It looks very sleek and modern. I like that a lot. Yeah, this guy does not have good cooling. Not a fan. Oh, we're going up. Nice. Alright, so now we're back over here, so we can go back through the part that we know from the first track. And we get a nice long straightaway. Whoa. Kind of took a little bit of damage there. Oh wow, we don't have to repair. Nice. Alright, it's a new lap record. Yeah, I'm gonna let this guy cool down, because honestly, trying to maximize boosts and all that when you don't have full boosting health is not that great. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Let's go up here this time. Yeah, all the Aqualaris courses have the Panaka and the Queen's Protectors music. Oh, I hate it when the doors are in this position, because these have to slide. There you go. Alright, so I'll show you the shortcut here. If you go through this pipe, you can ride it all the way to the end, where we were at earlier, but we can go through here and then sneak out this way. And this is sweet. I can just... Oh. Oh shoot, that was not what I wanted to do. And it put me all the way back over here. Aww. That was not a shortcut at all. Okay. We were supposed to exit like around this part here. Okay, well that wasted several seconds. Alright, hopefully on lap 3 we'll be able to do it. I think it kind of favors smaller pod racers. So, yeah, it's kind of a little unfair if you're a big guy. The guy we're about to unlock is a small pod racer though, so if he were to take the shortcut, I can definitely see him succeeding. And I know it's possible because I've done it with him quite a bit. I like how this guy's engines just stick out even more when you turn, just because he's so huge. Oh, there's the Republic ship again. I don't know what the Republic is doing out here. I mean, this is an outer... All of these are outer rim planets, so... I mean, are they just kind of scoping things out? You know, like, hey, what's Aqualaris up to? Oh, hey, they got a pod race. Let's just watch and fly around. That'll be fun. There's also a later planet that we haven't visited yet where you can see a Trade Federation landing ship patrolling the area, which I think is kind of funny. So we'll go this way this time. Oh, that was not good. We still haven't taken a lot of damage, though. I'm kind of surprised. Alright. Not a super good lap, but let's try to make up for it here with the last lap here. I love that floating rail car thing. That looks super sleek. Like, everything in this planet is super sleek, and I like it. I don't like that, though. That came out of nowhere. Alright, get the mouse out of there. There we go. Oh, this configuration again, really? Okay, good, we made it. Those doors have been less of a problem on this LP than I thought they would be. Alright, I'm going to try to make it this time. What?! You put me out here? Really? Oh, okay. I know of at least one more track on this planet where we will be able to use that, so I'm going to try to make sure we can get that to work by the time we get to that track. Oh, whoa, the track favorite is not in second. Wow, that is surprising. Because Bullseye's flag is that kind of gator-looking one with the green thing there. Oh, he's catching up now. Yeah, the AI can have a tendency to rubber band in this game quite a bit, which is, I don't know. I feel like a lot of racing games back in this time period did that quite a bit. I feel like now, you know, you get most racing games and the AI is a lot better. But hey, this game has got style going for it, and character, and I love that. Alright, we'll stay on the bottom this time. Do 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 do. Bum, 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 bum. One of the moments from the movie that I always associate with that music is that when the Naboo ships are going out into space and one of them gets shot down, and you see this camera shot of like that ship falling all the way down to the ground. And as a kid, I thought that was kind of funny that it followed it all the way. Okay, so the first lap was the best one, but we didn't do too badly. Alright, so I think I'm going to stop there. Next time we will get to use my favorite pod racer, Bullseye, and we will continue on. So that's going to be exciting. I like how he's sitting in it. Like all the racers you get, they sit in their pod racers as you reel them in there. Alright, so we're going to continue in the next video with Howard Gorge. So I will see you then. So take care, and I will catch you on the flip side.